Let's talk about India. You've got over 1 billion people. I mean, how in the world does a country that massive, that diverse, actually run itself? How do all those different voices even get heard? Okay, we're going to get right into it because the answer really gets to the heart of what democracy is all about. So, what you're looking at here is the Parliament of India. And sure, it's an incredible piece of architecture, but it's so much more than that. It's really the number one symbol of Indian democracy. This is the place where what the people want is supposed to become reality. But, it all kicks off with one huge question. I mean, really think about that for a second. It's tough enough getting your family to agree on what to watch on TV. So how can over 1 billion citizens all take part in making decisions for the whole country? It sounds kind of impossible, doesn't it? Well, here's the secret. The whole point isn't to get everyone to agree on every little thing. The point is to create a system where people can agree on who they want to make those decisions for them. That's the core idea right there. It's called representative democracy. So let's dig into that big idea a little more, this idea of consent. It's literally the foundation that the entire system is built on. It's what makes a democracy completely different from any other way of running a country. I really like this definition of democracy. See, it's not just about voting every few years. It's about the desire, the approval, and the participation of the people. That simple concept totally flips the script and makes the individual citizen the most important person there is. But this power, it wasn't just handed to people on a silver platter. It was fought for. The journey from just being subjects under a colonial power to becoming actual citizens of a free country, well, that was a long, hard fight for the right to even have a say. And this timeline really tells that story. It started way back in 1885 with the first demands for representation. Under British rule, you have to remember, people couldn't really speak out against the government without fear. The freedom movement changed everything, and it all led to the Constitution of Independent India, which gave every single adult citizen the right to vote. We call that universal adult franchise, and it was a total game changer. And this image, well, it just brings it all home, doesn't it? The right to vote isn't some abstract idea in a textbook. It's this moment. A single person getting ready to cast their vote, taking a direct part in deciding who runs the country. This is where the power of one person connects with the direction of the entire nation. So you cast your vote. Then what? How does that one action, multiplied by millions and millions of people, actually lead to a new government? Let's break down the mechanics of how it all connects. It's actually a pretty simple four-step deal. First, the whole country is kind of sliced up into 543 different areas, or constituencies. In each one of those areas, people vote for one candidate. The winner from each area becomes a member of parliament, or an MP. Then, all 543 of those MPs come together to form the Lok Sabha, which is the main house of parliament. Okay, here it is, the magic number in Indian politics, 272. To form a government, a political party or a group of parties needs to win at least 272 seats. That's the finish line that gives them a majority. Let's look at a real-world example. The 2014 elections. This chart shows the BJP winning 282 seats. See how that's clearly over the majority mark of 272? That meant they had the numbers to form the government all by themselves. But what happens if no single party crosses that 272 line? Well, that's when you get a coalition government. Back in 2009, for instance, the INC was the biggest party, but they didn't have enough seats for a majority on their own. So, to get past that magic number, they had to team up with other parties to form the UPA coalition and run the government together. Okay, so the people have voted and a government is formed. Job done, right? Nope, not even close. One of the most important jobs of the parliament is to keep an eye on that government, to guide it, question it, and hold it accountable. It's basically the people's watchdog. And this is the arena where it all goes down. Inside the Lok Sabha, the representatives that you elected have the power and, frankly, the duty to question the government's decisions on your behalf. And it's not always about some huge, complicated policy. Check this out. Here's an example of an MP asking about something we can all relate to, banning junk food in schools. It just shows you how Parliament can connect these big national debates to stuff that affects our everyday lives. And this quote just nails it. When Parliament is in session, there's a thing called Question Hour, and it's a super important tool. It keeps the government on its toes, shines a light on problems, and it's a way for them to hear directly from the people through their MPs. So this brings us to one last and maybe the most critical question of all. If Parliament is supposed to be the voice of the people, does it actually sound like all the people? Is it truly representative? Now, to be fair, there has been real progress. Parliament is definitely getting more diverse. We're seeing more MPs from rural areas, more from regional parties, and really importantly, more representation for groups that have been historically left out, like Dalits and other backward classes. Reserved seats have played a big part in making that happen. But, and this is a big but, just look at this chart. Women make up half of India's population, 50%. Yet, in Parliament, they only hold about 9% of the seats. That gap is just massive. You can't ignore it. And what's really striking is how slow that change has been. 60 years ago, only 4% of MPs were women. Today, it's just over 9%. Sure, it's an increase, but it's been happening at a snail's pace. And it makes you ask some tough questions about how well our democracy is really reflecting our society. And that's really the final thought I want to leave you with. This isn't just a numbers game. This is about the quality and the health of the democracy itself. If the institution that is designed to represent the people doesn't actually reflect the people, what are the consequences? What voices, what experiences, what brilliant solutions are we all missing out on? That's a question we all need to keep asking.